Have you ever been in such a crazy rush to finish a job that you thought to yourself, you know what, I'm just gonna skip this one little step. It'll save me maybe 5 minutes. Honestly, we've all been there. But what happens when that skip step is literally the only thing standing between you and a catastrophic injury? It brings up a question you really have to ask yourself. Is speed important, or is your life? Now, it sounds like an incredibly obvious question, right? Like, of course, life is more important. But here's the crazy thing. Every single day in workplaces all around the world, people make split-second decisions that say the exact opposite. They actually gamble their safety just for the sake of speed.
So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to break down some absolutely critical workplace safety lessons using two very real, very relatable stories straight from our source material. We're going to see how our obsession with efficiency can completely blind us to massive risks, and more importantly, how we can actually engineer our environments to protect us from our own worst habits.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the fundamental need for safety. Second, Raja's lesson on the importance of PPE. Third, Ravi's machine hazard. Fourth, we'll cover the specific types of machine guarding. And finally, how to build a real life-saving culture.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the need for safety.
We need to establish a foundational truth right off the bat. It's a concept that sounds super simple on paper, but man, it is incredibly hard to maintain in the heat of a busy workday. The crucial thing we have to understand is that safety rules are never just annoying bureaucratic hurdles. Safety first. Life is always more important than speed. When a safety officer asks you to slow down and follow protocol, they aren't trying to ruin your productivity. They are enforcing essential systems designed to protect your physical body. When we prioritize speed over safety, we aren't just cutting corners. We are literally gambling with our lives.
Moving on to Section 2, Raja and the importance of PPE.
To really illustrate this point, let's look at a construction site and the story of a young worker named Raja. His story perfectly captures how ridiculously easy it is to fall into the trap of complacency. Raja showed up for work, but he completely bypassed his basic protective gear. I mean, he ignored the whole shebang. His helmet, his gloves, his safety shoes. Why do people do this? Sometimes it's because the gear is uncomfortable, or maybe it's just overconfidence. They think, hey, I've done this 100 times without a helmet, nothing's going to happen today. But as we know, construction sites are completely unpredictable.
Now, Raja wasn't totally on his own here. His senior colleague, Murali, noticed this right away and gave him a stark warning. Raja, wear your safety devices while working. It's crucial for our protection. Murali saw the danger plain as day, but unfortunately, Raja completely brushed the advice off. He probably thought he knew better, or that the gear was just going to slow him down.
And then the unpredictable happens. Because he didn't have his helmet on, a small stone fell from above and hit Raja right on the head, causing a minor injury. Honestly, Raja was incredibly lucky here. It was just a small stone, just a minor injury, but it acted as a massive wake-up call. In an instant, he was terrified, realizing that his own negligence was the sole cause of his injury. From that day forward, Raja and everyone else who saw it happen made absolutely sure to wear their PPE.
Which brings us to Section 3, Ravi's machine hazard.
If we leave the construction site and head over to a factory floor, we actually see the exact same mistake repeating itself. While Raja ignored his PPE outside, inside the factory we meet Ravi, a brand new employee who is super eager to work fast on a cutting machine. To finish his job quicker, Ravi actively removed the machine's safety guard. What's wild here is the comparison. Despite being in totally different industries, both of these guys cut corners for the exact same reason. That dangerous illusion that a little bit of speed is somehow more valuable than safety. Once again, Murali steps up to be the voice of reason. He spots Ravi working on this unguarded cutting machine and warns him straight up. Ravi, working without a machine guard is extremely dangerous. That guard is there to save your life. Murali is explicitly trying to break that illusion. He's trying to get Ravi to understand that removing the guard isn't a clever shortcut. It is literally an invitation for disaster.
But, exactly like Raja, Ravi dismisses the warning. And this is exactly where that need for speed catches up to him. While he's working, some material gets jammed in the machine. Because his brain is hyper-focused on working fast, and because the guard isn't there to stop him, Ravi makes a critical, instinctual error. He reaches his hand directly into the unguarded machine to clear the jam. Suddenly, the machine activates, and Ravi suffers a severe hand injury. The very thing he did to save maybe 10 seconds ended up costing him dearly.
Let's look at Section 4, machine guarding types.
So Ravi's accident, understandably, triggered a massive wake-up call across the entire factory. This is where Haja, the factory's HSE specialist, steps in to deliver some absolutely critical training. He sets the record straight immediately, telling everyone, machine guarding is not a casual rule. It is the most vital feature for saving lives. Before you even think about turning a machine on, you have to verify those guards are in place. He uses Ravi's accident as a pivot to give a technical masterclass on how these guards actually work to protect us from mechanical energy.
Let's break down Hage's technical training based on the source material. First up, we have fixed guards. These are exactly what they sound like. They are permanently attached, super difficult to remove without specific tools, and they offer the highest baseline security because they physically block you from the dangerous parts of the machine. Below that, we have interlocked guards. Now, these are brilliant. If an operator opens the guard to access the machine, the interlock mechanism automatically trips and the machine stops instantly. It literally cannot run unless the guard is safely closed. It completely eliminates the risk of the machine firing up while your hands are inside.
Then we have some more dynamic options. The adjustable guard can be manually tweaked according to the specific needs of whatever job you're doing. But keep in mind, it completely relies on the operator setting it up correctly in the first place. Then you step up to the self-adjusting guard. This one is so clever because it dynamically adapts to the size of the material all on its own. As you push material through, the guard moves just enough to let it pass, ensuring your hands are protected the whole time without you having to manually reset anything.
Finally, Haja highlights some of the advanced tech you'll see on modern factory floors. Presence-sensing devices, like light curtains, are basically invisible laser fields. If your hand or your body breaks that field, meaning you've gotten way too close to the hazard zone, the machine instantly shuts down. It actually senses your presence to keep you safe. And of course, the absolute last line of defense, the emergency stop, or e-stop. That's the big red panic button that instantly kills the power during a sudden unexpected hazard.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, Life-Saving Culture.
Haja's comprehensive training ended up building a brand new culture on that factory floor. Because, look, just knowing about the guards isn't enough. The workforce actually has to want to use them, just like Raja did at the construction site. Ravi took full responsibility for his devastating mistake. He told the team, removing the guard was a huge mistake. From now on, everyone and I will put safety first. Ravi realized he didn't just hurt himself, he set a terrible precedent for the whole floor. But by owning it, he helped transform their workplace culture. Safety stopped being a barrier to work and became the very foundation of how work was done.
So, to wrap up our explainer today, here are the absolute core takeaways you need to internalize before you start any shift anywhere. Number 1, always use your safety devices. PPE and machine guards are simply non-negotiable. Number 2, you've got to view machine guarding not as a suggestion, but as a definitive, life-saving system. And number 3, safety first at all times. Pure speed will never, ever replace the value of your physical well-being.
The stories of Raja and Ravi from our source material prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that ignoring safety rules for a temporary boost in speed almost always leads to disaster. So I want to leave you with this final thought. The next time you're tempted to bypass a guard or skip putting on your helmet just to save a few minutes, stop and ask yourself, are you really willing to sacrifice your one irreplaceable life for just a few seconds of speed? Think about it. Thanks for joining me for this breakdown, and please stay safe out there.